forward and I stand back and then we both get in. Hey, this is Oldecam.
And this is not a spring chick.
And today we're going to do something which is seldom done. We're going to bring you, basically what is a green building. You see it on, the green channel, rejuvenation, whatever that show. Renovation Nation. See.
Yes.
And other things about building green. But what is building green except putting money out that you can't really afford to put out unless you're wealthy?
And it doesn't mean a green building, nor does it mean including a bunch of plants.
No.
Or just using non-toxic paint.
Yeah.
It goes much further than that.
Yeah, actually they do. I've seen some of these sites actually put the definition of green as the color first.
Well, it is a color because it was.
But it has nothing to do with being green. But some people actually do the color first. But
I think that one's correct, though.
I know. But a green building is an environmentally sustainable building designed, constructed, and operated to minimize the total environmental impacts.
Did you notice there is nothing in that definition that has to do with money?
No,
nothing.
Nothing. It had nothing. Basically, you don't have to. Okay, Ed Begley will be the first to tell you it's more sweat than it is actually
sweat
expenditures
equity.
A lot of money. Yeah.
And if you aren't doing that sweat equity, then it can lead to a lot of money.
That's right. I mean, okay, we have green building strategies.
The main strategies to achieve a green building include reduced energy consumption, water conservation, and recycling waste. Well, those all really sound good.
Yeah, but it's smart. I mean, okay, I see that if you're going to build new, you should always build green.
If it's financially feasible.
But it is financially feasible to build green because you can build recycled products cost you less money than brand new ones.
Sometimes.
Most of the time, unless you're wanting antiquities. But basically recycled bricks are more expensive, but recycled bricks are more expensive because it's the look.
Right.
But you can go to green products to build a home that can be substantial. It saves you money over the lifetime that you're going to be in the house by building the house green to begin with.
Actually, that's pretty smart.
If you try to go green after your house is built, okay, I'll give you an example. Yesterday they were talking about a woman that wanted a simple green kitchen put in and a green bathroom. She had lots of money. She budgeted X amount of dollars to do that.
Can we tell them how much?
Well, $125,000 she budgeted to
I wish I had that budget for
to build
the
green kitchen and green bathroom, and then to fix the retaining wall in the back. That's all when the problem started. When they opened up walls, which basically any contractor to tell you that when you open up a wall, it can lead to a mess of problems. They found that her other two bathrooms had tremendous amounts of mold in them.
Uh-oh, which is sometimes you really don't want to know the problem.
I know, because that's what happens when you open it up. So they had to basically tear the bathrooms apart, and because they were tearing them apart, then you might as well bring them up to the bathroom. Then they had a problem with the retaining wall. The retaining wall was never meant to have been built to begin with. And a lot of people will build things on properties that are not permitted.
How do you find out?
Basically, all you got to do is go downtown, go to your local planning department, and they will have on record building permits for areas. Okay. If you put something up that has a permit, and I can know right down the street from where I'm at, there's been a place being built for the last year that I know has no permits because they change the design every few days on it. But see, they made her tear the wall out. And the whole process of building the green kitchen was to be able to go look through the glass doors onto her beautiful patio.
Yeah.
So, but they basically, what we've got now is a whole new patio, a whole new retaining wall, a kitchen that basically didn't quite work out because when they had to do changes here, they had to do changes there. So the center console of the kitchen had to be 8 inches off from where they were supposed to be, which meant there wasn't enough room on another side, so they had to go back and redesign it again. But basically, by the time they got done with all the green renovation, it ran her maybe another $100,000 to do it.
Well, is that all because of being green, or is it because she would have had those problems anyway, and then she chose to do them because of
if she hadn't have wanted to be green,
she wouldn't have done it in the first place.
Done it in the first place, and there would be no pushing $300,000 expenditure.
Wow.
But when you renovate, when you renovate is when you have the problems. Green to begin with is least problems because you know what the costs are there because they're basically standard. But the well-designed green buildings save money, increase comfort, and create healthier environments for people to live and work in, using improved indoor air quality and natural daylight and thermal comfort. I those I like. I mean,
Well,
I
that
love
all sounds
lighting.
nice. And,
Right.
I mean,
You know, basically, what is environmental sustainability?
well, in 1987, the world. Well, that was a long time ago.
Well,
20 years
they
ago.
haven't updated anything. This is 3 years old.
The World Commission on Environment and Development defines sustainability as meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs.
That is
Now,
where we have a problem.
It's the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It's not just like self-sustained, like
Yeah.
you don't need outside sources.
That's right, because it encompasses the fact that change is, you're going to make changes to make things greener, but you also you want to make certain that there people in the future are going to be able to actually be here to use it. The green movement today is basically all about saving the environment, the planet. It has nothing to do with the people.
Nor
Yet
their
this is
pocketbooks.
the very first thing the World Commission on Environment says, without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Because see, if the more people means you have more pollution.
Yeah, and this definition, it was endorsed by the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development in Rio in 1992. Now, I wish we could get the Chinese and the people in India
Yeah, but
and
the
some of those other
third world
countries.
countries are not going to do it because they want their piece of the pie. They got growing economies,
Kind of like where we were like a century ago, like the Industrial Revolution, where
I mean, like there's like they said, in China, like a new coal power plant coming online every day in China because
Really?
they got billions of people.
Wow.
And they have energy problems in India.
And we keep getting things made in China.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. But let's see, the concept of sustainable buildings, reducing the harmful effects of the environmental building construction activity, have been attracting the attention of stakeholders in countries that belong to the
OECD, which is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Who is that anyway?
basically, I think it's like the United Nations organization.
Probably.
I think, yeah. This is a recent OEC report describes the environmental and economic impacts of the building sector and the current situation in regards to environmental policies and make recommendations for designing and implementing policies to encourage environmentally sustainable buildings. I mean, you can download the policy briefs.
From the OECD policy brief, that's the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development.
Right. Okay. Basically, energy sources. Where does energy come from?
Light. No.
Yeah.
The energy used in buildings come from black coal-fired power generation. Fossil fuels produce large amounts of CO2 emissions, and globally, many opportunities available for renewable energy. Oh, actually, this is the renewable energy part that everybody wants.
The renewable energy. I mean, T. Boone Pickens is pushing renewable energy.
The idea sounds good.
Well, because it is good, but the problem is, a lot of renewable energy is cost prohibitive. I mean, if it's going to cost you more to power your car than it is costing you to use fossil fuel, you're going to stay with fossil fuel.
Yeah, because part of it's everybody's got only so much budget, and they'd rather. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd rather spend it on clothes than buy more gas for my car.
Yeah. I mean,
or savings, or food, or
I know. See, in my case, I don't drive anymore because I'm old. And my hands are screwed from age. So, renewable energy provides clean energy with zero CO2. We got wind, hydro, solar, biomass.
What is biomass?
Okay, that's basically using plants to produce energy. Turning it into fuel.
That's kind of like in Back to the Future when he filled his car.
Yeah, like macadamia nut power. They crush up the nuts and stuff to make fuel.
Oh.
Geothermal and ocean, offshore wave energy. Actually, I've seen there's unbelievable amounts of power that can be generated by waves coming up. You put the generators under the surface of the water where it affects nobody playing, on beaches and stuff. And as the waves come in, they cause the turbines to spin, and you got a constant source of energy that's always renewable there. It's clean as can be.
Why don't they do something like that? Or are they worried about animal life?
They can't get permits. And we can say,
how do you get permits for, who owns that property out? I mean...
Well, no, they say...
I can let